In the heart of America during the 1930s, there was a period of despair and hardship that would come to be known as the Great Depression. It was a time when the nation faced unprecedented economic collapse, leaving millions of its citizens struggling to make ends meet. In the vast expanse of the Midwest, particularly in the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, a catastrophic environmental disaster known as the Dust Bowl unfolded. The Dust Bowl was not merely a chapter in history, it was a relentless assault on the very heartland of America. Prolonged drought, combined with unsustainable farming practices, had conspired to transform once fertile lands into arid, dust-choked wastelands. These were lands that had once yielded bountiful harvests, sustaining families and communities for generations. But now, the land lay barren and parched, as if it had been forsaken by the heavens themselves. The relentless winds, carrying with them choking clouds of dust, swept through the plains, turning day into night and swallowing entire towns in a suffocating embrace. Amidst the unforgiving storms of dust and despair, there were countless families like the Joads. Their plight would later be immortalized in John Steinbeck's iconic novel, The Grapes of Wrath. The Joads, like so many others, were forced off their land. The dream of a peaceful, prosperous life on their homestead was shattered. They found themselves standing at the precipice of an uncertain future, with the weight of economic ruin pressing upon their shoulders. With their meager possessions and hopes for a better life packed into a battered truck, the Joads embarked on a grueling journey to California. It was a desperate quest for survival, for the chance of reclaiming the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Their story would become emblematic of the struggles faced by countless Dust Bowl migrants, all seeking refuge from the unforgiving storms and economic devastation that had swept over their lives. As the Dust Bowl raged on, hope became an elusive specter on the horizon. The question on the minds of many was whether there was any hope left to be found amidst the choking dust and despair that seemed to have engulfed the very essence of the American dream. While the Dust Bowl ravaged the heartland, thousands of miles away, in the bustling metropolis of New York City, a different kind of struggle played out on the sidewalks and streets. People from all walks of life queued up for hours at soup kitchens and bread lines, their faces etched with the weariness of prolonged hardship. Among those standing in line was Michael Sullivan, a former banker who had once navigated the hallowed halls of finance with confidence. However, the stock market crash of 1929 had shattered his world, wiping out his savings and livelihood in a cruel twist of fate. Homeless and destitute, Michael found himself seeking sustenance among the lines of those who had also fallen on hard times. In the company of others who had experienced the bitter taste of economic collapse, Michael discovered a sense of camaraderie and shared struggle. They formed a makeshift community, where stories of better days were shared, meals were exchanged, and sometimes, a glimmer of hope flickered in their eyes. Michael's journey through the breadlines was a stark reminder that the Great Depression knew no boundaries and could strike anyone, regardless of their background or station in life. It was a time when individuals from all walks of life were brought together by the common thread of adversity, forging connections born out of shared hardship. The breadlines of New York City became a symbol of resilience and the enduring spirit of those who refused to surrender to the challenges of their time. As the nation grappled with economic collapse and environmental disaster, the stories of individuals like Michael Sullivan served as a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable difficulties. As the grip of the Great Depression tightened, makeshift shantytowns, known mockingly as Hoovervilles in reference to President Herbert Hoover, began to sprout up in empty lots and public parks across the nation. These were the last refuge for those who had lost their homes, their jobs, and their hope. Among the residents of one such Hooverville was Sarah Johnson, a single mother who had faced more than her fair share of adversity. With every dollar stretched to its limit and the weight of the Depression bearing down on her, Sarah found herself in the most challenging of circumstances. Yet, even in the midst of hardship and uncertainty, Sarah managed to create a sense of home and family for her children within the confines of the Hooverville. She fashioned a shelter from discarded materials, transforming it into a place where laughter, love, and shared dreams could still find a place to flourish. Sarah's story resonated deeply with those who crossed her path. It was a poignant reminder that the resilience of the human spirit could transcend the harshest of realities. In her makeshift home, she wove a tapestry of hope that defied the stark backdrop of destitution. It was a testament to the enduring importance of family bonds, even in the face of adversity. In the bustling urban landscape of Chicago, far removed from the rural vistas of the Dust Bowl, we encounter Henry Turner. Once a prosperous businessman who had navigated the corporate world with ease, Henry now found himself on a very different path. He stood on a street corner, offering apples to passers-by as a means to eke out a meager existence. The transformation from a life of comfort to one of street vending was emblematic of the incredible upheaval that had defined the Great Depression. Yet, Henry's story was one of unwavering determination and an unyielding spirit. Rather than succumb to despair, Henry had embraced the art of survival. He had discovered that the key to navigating this new world was adaptability. The street corner became his stage, and the apples his props. He engaged with his customers, sharing stories and smiles, finding connection amidst the chaos. In the midst of the Great Depression, a time when the weight of despair hung heavily over the nation, there emerged a powerful source of solace and inspiration: music. It was a testament to the human spirit's unyielding desire to find beauty even in the harshest of landscapes. In this act, we delve into the transformative power of music, embodied by the remarkable jazz musician, Ella Williams. Ella's story unfolded against the backdrop of a nation in crisis. Economic hardship had cast a long shadow, and spirits were at an all-time low. Yet, it was precisely in these moments of darkness that Ella's talent shone most brightly. Her soulful, jazzy melodies resonated through the streets like a beacon of hope, cutting through the oppressive atmosphere of despair. As she played her saxophone or sang her bluesy tunes, Ella's music had an almost magical ability to lift the hearts of those who listened. It was as though the very notes themselves carried a promise that better days lay ahead. Her melodies became the soundtrack of resilience, embodying the unwavering determination of a people who refused to be defeated by circumstance. Ella Williams was more than a musician. She was a symbol of the indomitable human spirit. In the face of adversity, she had harnessed the power of music to uplift the collective soul of a nation in crisis. Her performances were a reminder that even in the darkest hours, there was still room for hope, beauty, and the celebration of the human spirit. As the 1930s unfolded, the nation found itself in the throes of the Great Depression, a period of unprecedented hardship and economic despair. It was during this time that President Franklin D. Roosevelt unveiled a series of transformative initiatives collectively known as the New Deal. These programs held out a glimmer of hope, offering a lifeline to those who had been grappling with the relentless tide of adversity. The New Deal represented a bold departure from the status quo. It was a comprehensive package of reforms and relief measures designed to address the myriad challenges facing the nation. It aimed to create jobs, provide social safety nets, and kickstart infrastructure projects that would ultimately revitalize a nation in distress. Among the many individuals touched by the New Deal was Maria Ramirez, a dedicated schoolteacher with a profound belief in the power of education to shape a brighter future. Maria's story was emblematic of the countless educators across the country who saw themselves as beacons of hope during these dark times. Through the Works Progress Administration, Maria found an opportunity to continue her life's work, teaching. The WPA's commitment to employment and public works projects extended to education, ensuring that schools remained open and educators like Maria could continue to inspire and educate the next generation. Maria's dedication to her students was unwavering. She recognized that education was not merely a means to impart knowledge, but also a pathway to empowerment. It was a tool that could help young minds transcend their circumstances, providing them with the skills and knowledge needed to overcome adversity and contribute to a better future. In a time when the nation was gripped by economic turmoil, Maria's commitment to teaching was a testament to the enduring belief that education was the cornerstone of progress. Through her work, she planted seeds of hope in the hearts and minds of her students, nurturing the idea that even in the face of the harshest challenges, there was still a path forward. The New Deal, with its focus on relief, recovery, and reform, would come to symbolize the resilience of a nation determined to rise from the depths of despair. Maria Ramirez, along with countless others, became a living embodiment of the transformative impact that these programs could have on individuals and communities alike. Through education, they not only weathered the storm of the Great Depression but also sowed the seeds of a brighter tomorrow. Once the 1930s drew to a close, there was a palpable sense of change in the air. The Great Depression, a period marked by relentless economic hardship and societal upheaval, began to recede like a storm slowly passing on the horizon. However, it left in its wake a tapestry of stories of hardship, resilience, and, ultimately, recovery. Families, once torn asunder by the economic turmoil, began to find their way back to one another. It was a time of reunions, of embracing loved ones after long separations, and of rebuilding the bonds that adversity had strained. The nation's cities, which had weathered the harshest of times, now stood as testaments to the enduring spirit of their residents. The rebuilding process was not merely about reconstructing physical structures, it was about rebuilding lives and communities. It was a collective effort that required unity, determination, and an unwavering resolve to move forward. The scars of the Great Depression were deep, but they served as a reminder of the resilience that defined the American people. The Great Depression was undoubtedly a period of immense suffering, one that tested the limits of endurance for individuals and communities alike. Yet, it was also a time when the human spirit was on full display. Its resilience, creativity, and unwavering hope shone brightly even in the darkest of times. Through the countless stories of hardship and triumph, the Great Depression left an indelible mark on the nation's history. It was a chapter that underscored the importance of unity and solidarity in the face of adversity. It served as a poignant reminder that, no matter how insurmountable the challenges may seem, the human spirit prevails when individuals, families, and communities band together. As we reflect on this tumultuous chapter in American history, we are reminded that even in the most challenging of times, the enduring qualities of determination and hope are the beacons that guide us toward a brighter tomorrow. The Great Depression, with all its trials and tribulations, ultimately bore witness to the strength of the American people, a strength that continues to define the nation to this very day.